On Global TV News Prime tonight, National Assembly resumes plenary after a Yuletide season break. In business, National Grid collapses second time in 4 days. On the foreign scene, South Sudan says country not at war after days of heavy fighting. Plus in sports, Super Eagles captain Ndidi loses father to road accident. Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television. Coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, I'm Uyi Agumofwebe, reminding all of our viewers that we are on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Tonight, we begin by telling you Turkey and Nigeria have signed 9 cooperation agreements in Ankara, witnessed by Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and Nigerian President Bola Tinubu. The agreements cover diaspora policy, media, education, halal accreditation, military cooperation, women's affairs, and diplomatic training. Both countries also adopted a joint declaration establishing a joint economic and trade committee. Diplomatic relations between the two countries date back to 1960. Bilateral trade reached $688.4 million in the first 11 months of 2025, with Nigeria emerging as Turkey's largest trading partner in sub-Saharan Africa. The Senate has returned from its Christmas and New Year recess with a pledge to accelerate action on key national issues as President Bola Tinubu forwarded major judicial and health sector reforms to legislative consideration. The Senate President Godswill Akpabio also raised concerns over insecurity, hunger, and the political climate ahead of the 2027 elections. National Assembly correspondent Aniete Patrick reports.
Welcoming his colleagues from the Christmas and New Year break, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, highlighted the need for urgent legislative interventions to address rising insecurity and hunger across the country. He commended ongoing military cooperation between Nigeria and the United States while expressing condolences to families who have lost loved ones to insecurity. Akpabio warned that worsening food shortages demand immediate attention, referencing projections that millions of Nigerians could face severe hunger in 2026 if proactive steps are not taken. He also urged politicians to be guided by conscience as the country gradually moves into the campaign season ahead of the 2027 general elections.
Clarification of judicial structure and seniority. The bill seeks restructure provisions relating to the composition, precedence, and ranking of justices of the Court of Appeal.
Meanwhile, during plenary, the President of the Senate read 3 communications from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The first was the transmission of the Court of Appeal Amendments Bill 2026, which seeks to strengthen the capacity of the appellate courts. The proposed amendment includes an increase in the number of justices from 70 to 110, clarification of judicial structure and seniority, and the establishment of an alternative dispute resolution center within the Court of Appeal to handle matters that may be settled out of court.
This Senate extends its deepest sympathies to the families who have lost their sons and daughters to insecurity across our dear nation.
In the second correspondence, the President requested Senate's confirmation of the appointment of Justice Oyewole Kayode as a Justice of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. The third communication conveyed the President's request for the Senate's consideration of 24 health sector bills aimed at reforming existing health laws, including efforts to streamline what was described as an over-bloated membership of the governing councils in the sector. Lawmakers also observed a minute silence in honor of former Senator Godia Akwanshike, who represented Nasarawa North. The Senate subsequently adjourned plenary to January 28, 2026. From the National Assembly, Aniete Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
The House of Representatives has resumed plenary after a Christmas recess. It, however, suspended plenary in honor of 2 senators of the National Assembly who reportedly passed away during the Christmas holiday. A Deputy Speaker of the House, Benjamin Kalu, called for the adjournment after announcing the departure of the senators. National Assembly correspondent Anieta Patrick again reports on these and other activities in the House of Representatives.
It is the tradition of the National Assembly to suspend plenary of the day following the demise of either a member of the House of Representatives or the Senate. During the Christmas holiday, 2 senators died. They are Senator Oke Eza and Senator Godia Akwanshiki. The Deputy Speaker of the House, Benjamin Kalu, while welcoming members back from their 5 weeks break, described Senators Godia Akwanshiki and Okechukwu Eza as grassroots politicians with the interests of the nation at heart, praying them eternal rest in peace.
In his honor, and also in the honor of Senator Okechukwu Eza, Enugu North Senatorial District, 2023 to 2025, as well as Senator John Kojo Brambaifa, Bayelsa, West Senatorial District.
In another development, the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee investigating agricultural subsidies, intervention funds, aids and grants programs have summoned the Auditor General of the Federation, the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Agriculture over the expenditure of funds released for agricultural programs between 2015 and 2025. From the National Assembly, Anieta Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
Thank you so very much, Anieta. The National Industrial Court of Nigeria has ordered workers under the Joint Union Action Committee, JUAC, to suspend their ongoing strike in the Federal Capital Territory. The ruling followed a suit filed by the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and the FCT administration seeking to halt the industrial action. Kabir Hassan completes the report.
The legal battle over FCT workers' strike moved to courtroom as the National Industrial Court sitting in Abuja considered an application brought by the FCT administration against leaders of the Joint Union Action Committee. The claimant asked the court to restrain the union from continuing the strike, picketing government facilities or disrupting activities within the Federal Capital Territory. Delivering the rule, Justice Emmanuel held that while the dispute qualifies as a trade dispute, the right to embark on industrial strike is not absolutely once the matter has been referred to the National Industrial Court.
We commend the court for making an order for the stopping of this strike, restraining the workers from going on strike or continue with the strike. I think this is commendable because it's going to give the parties opportunity to discuss, and then the order is given according to the law.
The judge ruled that workers are barred from embarking on or continuing a strike during the pendency of a case before the court, adding that any ongoing industrial action must cease immediately until the suit is determined. The court consequently granted an interlocutory injunction restraining the union from further strike action and adjourned the matter to March 23, 2026 for hearing of the substantive suit.
They have been doing their best trying to reach out to the minister, but the minister refused to see them. And they went on strike, which is the only instrument a worker, an employee can use to express his grievances. And my lord said, since the matter is in court, matter cannot be in court, and you continue with the strike. Call off your strike, go back to work while we adjudicate on it.
A few hours after the court ruling, activities gradually resumed at the FCTA headquarters, as the main gate was sighted open with visible movement of workers and vehicles with heavy security mounted. The development suggests compliance with the court order following a days of disruption caused by the industrial action. Stakeholders now await a lasting solution of the dispute as legal proceedings continue. Kabir Hassan reporting for Global TV News. The legal
Many thanks, Kabir. Meanwhile, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has warned striking staff of the FCT administration to return to work or face legal action following a ruling by the National Industrial Court directing an end to the strike that has disrupted public services in Abuja for over a week. Wike made the statement shortly after the court's decision while briefing journalists, insisting that the rule of law must prevail. He also accused political actors of exploiting the industrial action for purposes unrelated to workers' welfare. He explained that the Federal Capital Territory Administration approached the court after determining that the strike had been hijacked by politicians, despite ongoing efforts to resolve the dispute through dialogue and to address a substantial amount of the workers' demands. Elsewhere, the political landscape of Kano State has assumed a new dimension with the formal defection of the state governor Abba Kabir Yusuf, members of his cabinet, and all 44 local government chairmen to the All Progressives Congress (APC). At the official declaration of his membership held in Kano, the governor said his decision to join the APC was taken in the best interest of Kano State and its people. Global TV correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that the event was attended by top government officials and party leaders held at the government house in Kano.
Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf, alongside the Speaker of the State Assembly Jibrin Falguri and other top government officials, arrive at the Coronation Hall of the Government House. It is the official declaration and e-registration of Governor Yusuf into the All Progressive Congress. This marks one of the most significant political moments of 2026 in Kano State, as Governor Yusuf, alongside 22 members of the State Assembly, 9 members of the House of Representatives, and 44 local government chairmen, formally defected to the APC.
I, the Governor of Kano State, Abba Kabir Yusuf Abba Gida, along with my cabinet and all the chairmen, plus the members of the House of Assembly, 22 of them out of 24, and members of the National Assembly, 9 of them out of 14. On behalf of all of them, we have taken the decision to align Kano State politically with the APC.
While declaring his membership of the APC, Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf said his defection was driven by a deep sense of responsibility, stressing that the interests of the people of Kano State must come above all other considerations. He added that his move is aimed at supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda for national development.
It is a conscious decision to more effectively support and liberate the renewed hope agenda, which seeks to transform our nation across critical sectors.
Receiving Governor Yusuf into the APC, the immediate past governor of Kano State and former national chairman of the party, Abdullahi Ganduje, described the governor as a man of integrity and vision. He said Governor Yusuf's decision to join the APC is a bold step toward promoting peace, unity, and sustainable development in Kano State.
The executive governor of Kano State, I would like to inform you that you are most welcome to our great party, the APC. You are most welcome back to your house.
Those in attendance included the Deputy President of the Senate, Barrow Jibrin, Senator Abdurrahman Kawu Sumaila of Kano South, ministers, and members of the House of Representatives. From Kano, Idris Jibrin, Global Television News.
Many thanks, Idris. Still talking politics, the African Democratic Congress, ADC, has called on Nigerians to embrace loyalty to a cause, democratic values, and the nation as the country moves toward the 2027 general elections. The party says Nigeria's political future depends on leaders and citizens who place national interest above personal ambition. Political correspondent Ubong Usoro reports.
Loyalty is a word with deep meaning in Nigeria's political space, yet one that is constantly tested by defections, personal interest, and shifting political alliances. At a gathering of prominent members of the African Democratic Congress (ADC), the party's leadership engaged in a critical conversation on the place of loyalty in Nigeria's democratic journey. Speaking at the event, former Vice President of Nigeria, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, stressed that true loyalty should be to the nation, democratic institutions, and guiding principles, not to individuals or personal ambitions.
Much more positively to the development or political development of our country is the emergence of this coming together of various political leaders to rescue this country.
Also speaking, former Governor of Ogun State, Rauf Aregbesola, emphasized that loyalty must be anchored on a cause rather than on personalities. He noted that political powers ultimately belongs to the people, insisting that governors do not win elections on their own, but through the collective will of the electorate. He expressed confidence that the ADC stands a strong chance of success in 2027 based on ideology, structure, and popular support rather than political opportunism.
Is it loyalty to a person or loyalty to a cause? I come from a tradition that believes that you must be loyal to a cause, not to a personality. And I'm clear on it. And I don't want to be misunderstood. It doesn't mean you don't value support.
ADC National Spokesperson Bolaji Abdullahi reinforced the party's position, stating that loyalty in politics must be on ideals and principles, not to individuals.
There is the first one I call loyalty as obligation, loyalty as duty, like the loyalty to a country. Whether we like it or not, we'll be loyal to our country. Whether the country helps us or it hurts us as it's currently hurting us, we'll remain loyal to our country. The second one is what I call loyalty as devotion. A religion, a religious personality, a cult hero, a cult of personality, because we are devoted to that person.
The ADC says it is committed to offering Nigerians a credible alternative to the ruling APC as the nation heads into the 2027 general elections. Ubong Usoro for Global Television News.
The Nigerian Army says it has intensified security operations across Ebonyi State to counter emerging threats and sustain peace. Commanding officer of the 24 Support Engineer Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Ikenna Chelo, says the Army is addressing security concerns, including land and boundary disputes, banditry, and the activities of the indigenous people of Biafra and the Eastern Security Network. Defense correspondent Kekalamo Okere has details.
The commanding officer of the 24 Support Engineering Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Ikenna Chelo, explained that the regiment maintains a standby reaction force and conducts intelligence-led patrol in identified flashpoints, working closely with the Nigerian Police Force and other security agencies to strengthen intelligence sharing and rapid response. He added that the Nigerian Army has also expanded non-kinetic engagement while improving surveillance and communication through the deployment of digital networks and specialized communication vehicles. It therefore assures residents that the Nigerian Army remains committed to working with relevant stakeholders to ensure lasting peace and security in Ebonyi State.
Training was conducted last year, and in fact this year we're already preparing to commence training on those equipment. The essence is to have soldiers that are, refreshed all the time, know what to do at every point in time, so that we can have we'll all be on the same page when it comes to the conduct of operation.
Meanwhile, security has improved significantly in Ikwo local government area following the establishment of a forward operating base under Operation Udoka. The acting officer commanding of the forward operating base in Ikwo Sector 2, Captain Sunday Ogo, says the base was established on January 14, 2024 to address rising threats including communal clashes, boundary disputes, cultism and kidnapping. According to him, sustained patrols, aggressive operations and credible intelligence backed by strong community cooperation have restored calm across affected communities.
That we have achieved on this FOB is being able to douse down the communal clashes between local governments like communities like Imagu and Epomaka. These are well-known communities who have boundary issues, which has in turn resulted into clashes over time. And
Chairman of Ikwo local government area, Sunday Nwankwo, describes the forward operating base as a turning point for security in the area. He says the intervention has stabilized Ikwo, strengthened security partnership and restored public confidence, with communities once known for violence now experiencing relative peace.
At Abeka Core, and so it has helped to stabilize the security situation here. And I can tell you, if you ask anybody in the state, what used to be stories of insecurity has become a place to celebrate for stable security.
With intensified operation, improved intelligence and growing community cooperation, the Nigerian Army says it remained resolute in its mandate to safeguard lives and properties and sustain peace across Ebonyi State. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
You're watching News Prime here on Global Television. News Prime continues after this weather forecast, plus business, foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please do stay with us.
Hello and thank you for joining us on the weather forecast for Wednesday. Across the northern and north-central region of the country, moderate dust haze is expected. Visibility is expected to be in the range of 2 to 5 kilometers, although parts of Katsina, Kano and Jigawa states are likely to experience poorer visibilities, as visibilities may drop to 1,000 meters or less. Motorists and people with respiratory conditions advised to take necessary precaution. Meanwhile, in the southern parts of the country, partly cloudy skies are expected during the morning hours. Later during the day, there are chances of thunderstorms in parts of Lagos, Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, Cross River, and Akwa Ibom states. That's the forecast. I am Theodora Itzum. Thank you for watching.
Well, thank you for staying with us, everyone. And now to business. The national power grid has crashed again, the second time in 4 days. Data shows 0 megawatts of power supply to the 11 electricity distribution companies during the period. Now let's turn to the foreign scene for you. South Sudan's government says it is not a war after days of heavy fighting against the rebel forces that has placed more than 180,000 people. A fighting erupted in Jonglei State, north of the capital, Juba, in late December in the latest clashes between factions loyal to President Salva Kiir and his longtime rival, Riek Machar. And now time to take a look at some sports stories for you on the news tonight. Super Eagles captain Wilfred Ndidi has lost his father, Sunday Ndidi, who died following a road accident in Umonede, Delta State. The retired military officer was rushed to a hospital in Agbo, where doctors later confirmed his death. Quite a sad story there, no doubt. That's a News Prime for you tonight. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Remember to subscribe and engage with us across social media platforms using Global TV and G, as well as other handles as you now see on your screen. I am Uyi Agmofwegwe. On behalf of my colleagues who have made this broadcast possible, we say thank you for watching.